Dudes, what's up? We got the Compound Playground Freeride track on MXGP 2020. Just wanted to come in here and kind of give my review on this whole sort of compound area. And this is my second time ever riding on this thing, so a lot of this stuff it's like brand new to me, right? So you're getting those first real raw impressions of it here. So, first of all, the scenery, the look of everything is awesome, okay? Like, don't ever get that twisted. Even with my review of this game, this game looks amazing. Like, I mean, it downright probably is the best looking, dirt bike game we've ever had before. I mean, it looks amazing. You could just tell it's just that next level graphically, side to the game. It definitely has a whole different level of a vibe when you get the graphical level to this point. And of course, I'm playing this game on PC, so and obviously this is a next-gen game, so if you have this game on PS5, it's going to look a certain way, right? Versus having it on, I'm pretty sure they still have it on for the old consoles as well. Let's just do a little river riding here, boys. This is kind of cool. So, but that's what I want to get across, This game looks amazing. Graphically, it's awesome. And I'll never not admit that, you know what I mean? Graphically, it looks awesome. I mean, look at the waterfall, dog. Like, that's sick. That's amazing. Okay? But two of the biggest pitfalls to this game is the speed of the game, like how fast you're moving on the bike, and then the jump sizes, obstacle size, scaling, and skill gap to the jumps and the obstacles. Those are the two biggest Achilles heel type things to this game, negatives to this game, and I'm telling you, those things are so important. It's like, it'd be like having an amazing graphic Call of Duty, right? But then the gunplay wasn't very good, right? So like having just a downright amazing next-gen graphic Call of Duty game, but the gun skill and, there wasn't like enough recoil on the guns, and there wasn't enough variation in the guns, and there just wasn't enough to it to give you that proper gunplay. So then you're like sitting there playing an amazing-looking game, but the gameplay just doesn't really match up to it, That's the exact same difference in MXGP 2020 here. It looks amazing. But when you get to the gameplay and the skill gap of the jumping, it's just, woo! I mean, holy crap. So this is one of the little tracks here. Man, this puppy's tight. Very, very tight. Almost like Supercross type tight. But it's a motocross track, but there's like literally barely any jumps on it at all. I mean, I just don't understand this right here. I really don't. This is a free ride track. They had the free reins to pretty much do anything they wanted to with it, and they give you one of the smallest, no jump tracks in the entire game. It's like, what the hell, Milestone? This was your one chance to put something in here with a bigger skill gap and not trying to be so one-to-one scale, trying to replicate exactly like the MXGP series, right? This was their one chance to make a cool, bigger scaling track in the game, and they didn't even do it. Even on the free ride track. I don't know who in the hell was working on the jump size scaling of this game, or the speed of this game, the movement of, like, how fast you're moving on the bike. I don't know who designed that in this game. But good Lord, have you not played the past fucking, 3 MXGP games? Like, holy crap, man. I feel like they're just going backwards with that. They're going backwards at that whole side of the game. If you don't have that proper speed filling on the bike, you don't have where it feels like you're going a certain level of a speed on the bike, and the game feels a certain kind of slow, I just can't even explain what that does to the feeling of the entire game, Like I'm saying, even if they had the most amazing gigantic jumps and most amazing skill gap jumps or whatever you want to call it in this game, it's like you can't even get enough acceleration on the bike for it to even matter. Like, have you noticed when you hit, rollers and things like that in this game, the bike almost comes to a complete stop when you've got it wide open going through rollers. When you land, it's just so much losing momentum on every little thing, and the friction of the dirt, you already have such a loss of momentum. It's just crazy. But so, for instance, instead of having like some flatter terrain and then mountains spread out so you can actually, get speed and hit a giant ass, 200-foot jump over a mountain like you would on a bunch of unleashed tracks or reflex free ride tracks, instead of it being like that, like a proper free ride track that you can actually hit big jumps on, it's almost like they purposely build it in a way to where there's so much mountainous terrain. They did this in MXGP 2019, and they also did this in MXGP 2020 here on this free ride track, where it's like there's so much mountain, hill, terrain stuff in your way to where you're not going to even hit that big of a jump on this entire track. I mean, it's crazy. On this entire playground or compound or whatever you want to call it. Yo, that was goddamn awesome where I just came through under that log. I gotta admit, that was sick right there, dude. Let me see if I can do that again. Oh, God. I don't know what... Man, the physics of some of these milestone games does not like going up sharp, straight up and down mountain terrain at all, bro. So you can pretty much ride this river all the way down. Let's see if we can go from the top of this bad boy. But you see the difference, though. This is more like trying to be like trail tight trees going super, super slow. Let's just mess around versus like fast hitting big jumps. It's like a whole different kind of a free ride track. My point being, though, is like they already did this, though, with MXGP 2019. And even MXGP Pro's free ride track was like this. A lot like this. Same kind of like little rocks and little shit you could ride over. Not really any super big jumps or anything. It's pretty cool right here, though. I do have to admit, that is pretty sick. Where did I actually go under that log at? Oh, God. Okay, well, there we go. I think the log might have been turned back right there, yeah. So that's where the waterfall comes down. You can definitely tell, man, they've amped up the graphics to the water, the grass. Like I say, it's an eye candy game. It looks amazing. I mean, there's certain aspects of this game almost look like photorealistic. It's like that newer that newer Unreal Engine. I'm not sure if that's really what they use for this, but it seems like they've used some kind of, updated engine to even create this kind of a graphical look here. But it looks amazing. I mean, it looks awesome. I would have loved to have had a trail series that was like, kind of built around some different trail tracks built within this playground here. That would have been really awesome. They could have so easily made a trail series where, you had like little flag areas, like kind of picking where you go around on the track and shit like that, and having an actual official trail series in the game. That would have been awesome. So kind of like a waypoint series, but more like an actual trail series where you really got to follow and go through trees and stuff, go through areas like this waterfall area. That would have been so cool. But I just think it doesn't play into... It like basically plays into what we've already had before. You know what I mean? It's like that, like I'm saying, that very, very slow... Man, this looks awesome right here, dude. It's a weird experience when you get on a game like this that looks so amazing. But it's just like... I mean, what is a game? Is it all about what it looks like? Or is it what you're actually doing? I mean, I don't know. You tell me. For me personally, it's way more about what I'm doing. Because, yeah, this is all cool. Seeing all this, like, for the first time like this, it looks amazing, But if it doesn't have that substance, like those free ride tracks on Reflex, all the different jumps and one giant mountain on the ends. You know, it's cool to have one huge mountain where you try to climb to the top of it. That's cool, right? But you know the difference in Reflex free ride tracks and this shit right here. Like, there's not really jumps to hit here. Everything that could possibly potentially be like a jump that you hit is just a rock face. It's just a mountain with rocks all over it to where you can't even, you know, actually use it as a jump face. That's what all this is. That's the same way it was in MXGP 2019. They've built it just in a way to where you just can't really jump very big anywhere on this free ride track. I don't know why they do that. You can't really jump anywhere big in this entire game. Anywhere. It's just so weird to me that it's like that. You guys know, even on the desert freeride track of Reflex, you know, there's that giant-ass mountain in the middle that's, like, kind of hard to get to the top if you don't know what you're doing, and you can jump off the top of it. It's, like, a really cool thing. But you also know all the like, more, like, freestyle type, pre-made type looking built dirt type jumps all around that mountain in the middle. Almost like a full-blown freeride course type, or freestyle course in a sense. You know, with all the different jumps you can hit around that mountain in the middle. And you can get, like, pretty much unlimited speed coming up to any of those. Whereas it's just a totally different experience on a freeride track that's like this right here. It's just a totally different kind of thing. Like, this, see how much air I just got right there? That's about the most air you're going to get anywhere on this track. Like I'm saying, anywhere where it gets even remotely flat to where you can get any kind of speed, I don't even know what that just was right there. Man, you instantly pop off on some of these objects. Like, whoa, bro. You know, there's a little bit of flat land area like through here, but do you see any jumps? Because I sure as hell don't. I see a bunch of trees, and I see a bunch of ditches, and I see a bunch of, like, things that are going to just take you out, but I don't see any jumps. There's just not really, even this right here. You see how you jump down in this little valley, and then you can't really jump that? You see what I'm saying? It's like they've built it in a way to where they have kind of like restricted you, prevented you from being able to jump something. Let's see if we can try to kind of jump this going around the other way here. You have to follow this path a little bit, but that's just something that's kind of frustrated me about some of these free ride tracks and these milestone games. Like, that's one of the funnest things to free riding in a dirt bike game, is hitting a jump going, you know, fifth gear tapped out and just soaring that bitch 300 foot, you know. That's one of the funnest things. That was one of the funnest elements to games like Unleashed and Untamed and even Reflex. That was amazing. Even Alive, you know, all those kind of games, they're free ride tracks. You were able to hit certain jumps there that you just couldn't hit anywhere else, you know, and it just gave it like its whole own kind of feeling. You could do like freestyle tricks on the big jumps. You could do, is there backflips in this game? I'm not really sure. They did add backflips, I think, in Supercross 3. I don't know if you can actually do that in this game. Good luck finding a jump even big enough to attempt that. I think you might be able to do it. I'm not sure, but I literally just cannot find an actual hittable jump big enough to even try that. I just can't. It's weird. Does any of you guys not find that weird that they just restrict you? I'm talking, it's like they don't even want you to hit a jump bigger than 40 foot in this entire game. Why? Is there something like drastically wrong with the air physics? That's, you know, they don't want you to see it. They don't want you to see some big air physics bug. Because, you know, when you start getting those 300-foot jumps, like on a free ride track, or not, I keep saying 300, like, dog, even if they just had a 100-foot jump somewhere, like a 200-foot jump somewhere, that'd be amazing. But they don't. They do in a way, but not where it's actually hittable. Not where it's like smooth enough going up to it, and where it's flat enough going up to where you can get the proper amount of speed and not hit some kind of ditch or rock or some bullshit coming up to it, you know? So this is kind of the other little motocross track here on it. Cool how they got the water going through it. Like I say, I love all of that. I love the look of it. But damn, like how long are you really going to sit here and ride on a track like this? I mean, let's just keep it real. It looks like there's a bunch of ruts everywhere, but there's really not. That's just like a visual thing. That's just like super soft, blowed out sand rut, you know. It looks like you have 3 or 4 ruts going through the corner, but you don't. Trust me, you don't. You kind of got a little bit of an inside little rut right there, slight little inside pre-made type thing right there, but it's all slight. When it comes to the inside pre-made ruts in this game, it seems like there's something because we've literally never had anything like that ever in these milestone games. So the slightest little bit of a pre-made inside berm or anything is going to seem like a lot in one of these milestone motocross games, but in the grand scheme, it's not a lot compared to like some of these other motocross games. It's just not. So, yeah, that's about my opinion on this free ride track. Looks absolutely amazing. Look at this right here. So, first of all, if I can even get to... See, it's just like you can't even get to the places that you want to fucking try to jump. It's just crazy. Like, even this right here. I'm telling you, that's the biggest kind of jump you're going to hit on this whole area, dog. I'm telling you. Like, and it's tricky to even find jumps of this size. You know, it's like you got to find... And good luck landing anything like that. It's like the game was literally not even made for that at all. There. Biggest jump I've hit in this whole game right there. Like, holy crap. You know, it's just like not even made for actual jumping freestyle. That's just... And like, that's okay to have one free ride track like this, you know, if they had actual multiple free ride tracks in their AAA game, but they don't do that. They just have one. So you just have to deal with that one free ride track style that they have in their game. And that's all there is to it. You know, if they had another free ride track that was big jumps and shit like that, I would have no problem with this track at all. But that's the whole point. They only have one free ride track in their AAA motocross games to the point to where, and they've already done this type of a track so many times, like with MXGP 2019 and MXGP Pro. I mean, it's just so similar to that it just doesn't really feel like anything special or anything that you're going to spend much time on. You know what I mean? It just really does not feel like that kind of a free ride track. Looks amazing graphically, but I'm telling you, man, you're going to ride on this thing for like a day, maybe, and then it's just going to be like, what's the point? It does look like they've reused a bunch of the tree, bush, you know, objects and stuff from like that MXGP Pro free ride track. Looks very similar to that. So either way, I was hoping they would have done something different than standard woodland this time around. I was hoping they were going to do something like a tropical free ride or a desert free ride or a something, you know. This is very, very simple. This is kind of like you mixed the free ride track in MXGP Pro and the free ride track in MXGP 2019. In a nutshell, that's basically what this is right here. But still very, very like hard to hit any kind of real jump or get in any kind of real jump, free ride course, freestyle course jump, you know, path or rhythm or any, you're just not going to do any of that. You might get lucky and find one halfway medium sized jump somewhere, but like that's all you're going to be able to hit, you know? And it's just, I don't know. This game is just weirdly not made for that at all. So, either way, that's the Spency Boy's opinion on the free ride track here on MXGP 2020. Let me try to get my shit together. MXGP, man, it's like, how many are they going to do? I don't know. But there's just something so off to the speed of this game. It's just, you're just not going as fast as you think you would. Everything just feels slower than it should, you know? I don't know. Very, very weird, bizarre feeling. Let's try to hit a big jump one more time here. It's like so many of these bigger jumps, it's like you got to go up such a hill before you even get to the actual lip of what would be the jump. So you lose all of your speed and whatever kind of small amount of speed and momentum you can actually get in this game. You lose all of it before you actually get to the lip of the jump. You see what I'm saying? So there's just like none of that whole side of the jump fun factor. Such a big element to games like Reflex and Unleashed and Untamed. I mean, if you didn't have the jump fun factor to those games wouldn't have been half of what they were. And this game is just, it's like it's just totally missing that entire side of the game. It's just so weird that they would make a game like that at this point after going through all the Supercross games. I'm just so mind baffled by it. I don't know why they did that. I have no idea why they did that. But even on their free ride tracks, something that they did not have to make one-to-one scaling for any kind of a reason, even still, they limit you in how big you can jump, and they try to make everything small, one-to-one scaling jump sizes, even on the free ride track, bro. Like, man alive. So, either way, appreciate you guys watching all the videos. Later, dudes.